Yeah. All right. We got a whole wide world of weird shit to experience. Oh my, we hold our beer high and y'all are hearing this. Our long story with your own sweary boys. We ain't never been ashamed, laid low to play coy. Couple dudes chatting in your living room, asking questions about reptiles inside of the moon. We buying our tickets soon for a blast off fast, so we can finally call every flat earther a dumbass. We'll take a selfie cell phone pic and light a spliff, fill our helmets with smoke, float in space and get lit. Wait, what happened? What was I rapping about? My bad, I got lifted kinda quick and blacked out. Don't worry, I'm back now. Been ready to smack down. It won't stop till I drive a drop top round the town. Getting here, it's been a hell of a process. Catch us in your backyard, fist fighting haunted objects. Never been known to say less. We stay in the mess. Mad love to y'all. You're now rocking with the best. What's up?
Hi.
Yeah, buddy.
That's Ryan. I'm Spencer. It's What If?
Yes, sir.
Beats.
Raps. Weirds.
Cat horns.
Cat horns. What's up, man?
Hi, I'm doing great. How is you?
Good, bro. Man, sometimes it feels good to just rock a 16, man. Just get a 16 off.
Yeah, dude.
Let's go.
Maybe a 17. Fuck it.
It wasn't. I could tell you just based on my
I'm
bars
just saying
here.
next time, you know?
Maybe we open.
Go crazy. Give him 18 and 1.
Every episode from now on, we open with a new.
With twice as many bars as the last time?
No, just one more bar. Just one more bar.
A month from now, you'll be doing 16 billion bars.
Yep, that's true.
That's not how math works, but yeah, it sort of is.
The doubling is.
You know what I mean.
But what if it's just adding one bar?
Until just forever?
That's really long by the end of the year. 52 weeks.
Time plus 16?
Plus 16.
That's still only 68. That's like 4 minutes tops. You're fine.
Do you want to try that one more time?
52 plus 16? Huh? 60? That's not.
No, you're right. Damn.
What are you talking about?
Never mind. I was thinking something else.
Never mind. I was thinking about the wrong answer.
Never mind. I was doing math a different way. I was just doing. Hey, don't worry about it. Yeah. I was just doing math how I do it. It's not how other people do it. It's not how other people do it, but it is how I do it.
Most people do it right. I do it different.
It makes me feel comfortable, so I just do it like my kind of way.
Oh, buddy.
I was thinking about something else, that's all.
So we said last week we were going to start we have a new segment.
Uh-oh.
It's the segment where we
did we say that on the free show last week, or did we talk about it on the Patreon?
Couldn't tell you.
All right, we do a paid show every week. Go to patreon.com.
We should do both, though.
/whatifpodcast.
Go to patreon.com and just pick something that looks nice to you. Give them some money.
Patreon.com /whatifpodcast. You get more episodes.
Bunch of good shit on there.
We talk about dope shit. Yeah, we did. We did say that. We said
something that brings us joy.
Yeah.
Recently. Today?
So just
within
update.
The past week? Should we do it that way?
Yeah, since we last recorded, we'll say that. So Spencer and I both have been we've been trying to work on ourselves a little bit and trying to practice gratitude and practice joy and delight. And so we're gonna open shows now, talk about shit that's good.
Yep.
Because that's tight to be good.
You got one off the top of your head?
Let me think.
I got one otherwise.
Yeah, go. You start.
We played basketball yesterday morning for the first time together in a long time.
Yo.
And it felt great.
I think we got to share that one.
What?
Like, can that be both of ours? Because that was high key, like, the highlight of my week.
Okay.
It was so good, man.
Yeah, playing basketball is fun. Hanging out with your friends is fun. Working out makes you feel good.
I was going to say I'm not great at basketball. I'm not even good at basketball. But it's
none of us are. That's why it's fun.
But it's also a thing that we're all, like, proficient in. You know, we're not, like...
We can hold our own in a pickup game where no one is under the age of 25 or 30.
Yes.
I can walk into your standard YMCA on like a weekday afternoon.
Yeah.
And not be embarrassed.
For sure. And I mean, like, I think it's like we all played at some degree, so everybody can function in the way of like they understand basic concepts of basketball. Right. It's not just like we grew up playing football and we're like, fuck it, we're trying this now or whatever.
Nobody likes the football player in a pickup game. It's the worst.
They're not fun.
Can't tackle people here, bro.
No, you can't. And you
gotta have a little finesse.
Being too aggressive, man. You putting your sweaty body on me.
We had one of those guys yesterday, but that's another story.
No, it was the highlight of my week, man. I saw some homies. Got a sweat on. Gym has big, nice windows on it, so even though it was literally -2 degrees, we got some nice sunshine in our systems.
Come back next Saturday.
Moment of joy, baby. I'm for sure coming back next Saturday. I'm gonna do it.
You had a real solid block at one point.
I did, bro.
I started shit talking the dude that you blocked.
Yep.
And then you subbed out, and then I had to guard him like 2 minutes later. That was fun.
That did happen. It's
okay.
I think I got a foul call on me for that block, and I don't think I earned it.
No, it wasn't that one. That dude doesn't call fouls.
Oh, no, it just was out of bounds, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. Bro, I scored some points. Can you believe I scored points?
I just started screaming, "You're too little" at the dude that Ryan blocked, who was like the second biggest, by far the most athletic man on the court.
Oh, but by a million miles. I just happened to be 6'5" and weigh 230 pounds. So
it's okay. I know him. I'll talk shit to him.
Yeah.
He just won't pass me the ball on Monday night. He's on my rec league team.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
That's tight.
That was good. We can share that one, I suppose.
All right.
I got a small dog related one, and not a small dog. A small story about my big dog. No. So it snowed a bunch last night here in Minnesota.
Bro, you can't get a small dog. Your big dog would just like trample it accidentally.
No, he's nice.
He's nice, but he's accidentally gonna step on
Did you
things.
see how calm he was when you came over today?
Didn't he bark one time?
That's right.
It's my son.
I let him out this morning. I opened the back door to let him out this morning.
I love the idea of your dog being my son.
That's correct. Lydia also insists that her brother.
Okay.
So I think that makes you.
Does that make me Lydia's dad?
I think so.
Lydia, go to your room.
Anyway, I opened the back door this morning and he saw that there was like an extra 5 inches of snow outside.
We did get dumped on last night.
He was standing, so like my back door into my backyard. There's like, the larger top step, and it's just like cement stairs going down to a sidewalk.
Yep.
So it's 3 steps, and then the top one is like a little landing area.
Did he just catapult his ass off your stairs?
He didn't even touch the outdoor stairs. He was standing inside still and took a leap from like inside my house still, missed all 3 stairs, and then just started running laps around the yard.
He's too strong.
At one point, he stopped to pee and then immediately just went back to running laps. He was the happiest boy.
He's too strong.
He loves snow too much.
My dog too. My dog's got some husky in her, so she likes it too. She's crazy. She'll just go like same thing. It snowed last night, and she was running around. And
wait, it snowed at your house too?
Yeah, bro.
Crazy.
Ain't that crazy? And she just goes and lays down. Yep. She's like, "This feels nice now.
This is right."
Like, yo,
I don't know how you guys deal with these 70-degree houses. You're doing it wrong.
I'm much better now while I'm laying in fucking 25-degree weather in a fucking snowbank.
Should we get to the weird shit?
Let's do it. Do we have any? Do we have any announcements? Voicemails?
I don't think
emails?
so.
Okay.
If you live in New York, and I know a lot of you do, because we get stats about where you live.
We know where you are, kind of.
I'm going to be DJing at the Knitting Factory on Thursday. If you guys want to come hang out, I'll drink a beer with you.
Ooh, do it.
Okay. Haunted bunk beds.
Bro.
Maybe I know it's early. We're 9 minutes in and we haven't talked about anything other than the words haunted bunk beds.
but
this is a contender for my favorite episode already. Favorite topic for sure.
Rick. Okay, wait. So time out. I have a question.
Oh, I've said 3 words about it, but go for it.
I know. I always have questions even before anything. You told me that you are prepared to talk about bunk beds for potentially an extended period of time.
Yes.
And also told me not to learn anything about bunk beds so I could be learning.
I should have not directed you to anything specific about bunk beds, but like, Ryan.
Learn about how it's made with Ryan and Spencer.
IKEA's open till 8. Go see what you can figure out.
Bro, what if we use Patreon money and we built bunk beds in the studio, and we recorded an episode laying down in bunk beds like over each other just to see how it changes our energy, bro.
Okay, so here's yes, and
it could be tight.
Yes, and I love that idea. Also, when booking Airbnbs,
yes,
when traveling as groups,
yes,
I always a place that has bunk beds immediately goes to the top of my list.
It gets an additional 1 point on the 10-point scale rating.
Absolutely. I'm currently planning a little tour for the spring and am in charge of booking our lodging.
And you just straight up said filter bunk beds.
Yeah, dog.
Dude,
you got like 3 or 4 people.
I never had them. It's
efficient. It's cozy. You get to bond with your buds.
I never had them, and I had like some friends and some family that had them, and it was always fucking cool.
So what I'm saying is
they're built-in forts. Okay.
Yeah, you put one like sheet up, and you got a sweet fort.
Yes.
You get some couch cushions, and you got a killer fort.
This is your world.
Anyway, so what I was going to say is we should take another little adventure one of these days.
Oh.
And book a place that has bunk beds, and we could test that out on the road.
Record and see how it feels.
In a place that's potentially haunted. We don't know. Last time we took a what-if plane trip, the place we stayed in may have been haunted. Weird shit happened on its own in that place. In Colorado?
Oh, I thought you meant California.
Oh, you're right. We've taken a trip since then.
I think.
But when we went to Colorado together, that house was... Well, our place in California smelled really bad. That may have been a ghost.
Ghost stink. It had a strong ghost stink to it.
Something died in there for sure. I mean, we can say that much.
Does it smell like ghosts in here to you?
It smells like something died.
It stinks like ghosts in here.
I mean, farts are sort of like ghosts, right?
It's your soul coming out.
Nah, it's like the ghost of what you ate. We as humans just turn food into ghosts.
Hey, bro, you smell like ghosts right now.
You can't see it?
That'd be the weirdest way to tell somebody that they farted. Hey, bro, you can't smell like a ghost right now.
You shouldn't have to tell someone that they farted. If you're farting and you don't recognize it.
No, I'm saying what if they were hiding?
You need to get your butt checked.
What if they were hiding from you? All right, we're building bunk beds in the studio, and we're going to record and see what our energy changes and how it sounds. What the question that I was going to ask that I never got around to asking was, should I have the newly revised soundboard for your story time?
Oh, you certainly can. I still haven't added the new things we discussed.
No, it's okay.
And there is just no organization happening, so
perfect.
You're gonna be at even more of a disadvantage than you usually are.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
That one's still not on there. I'm sorry.
No, I meant it more as that is a descriptor now. I feel like for the fucked up board.
I have a topic on the Patreon today though that I think might lead us to some new great sounders.
Okay.
Okay. Haunted bunk. You remember how to do it?
Wait.
You want to give her a quick test run?
Hang on. Oh, God.
You got your pointer finger out like you're going to do something.
I'm going to hit a button so I can see what they're called, but I forgot which one it is. Oh, God.
Should I
I have to quit.
Should I move on without you? What's happening
Boop.
Here? Okay.
No, how do I see the...
pad mode. Along the top there. You see it?
Lit.
Got it?
I think this is such a dang neat show.
We're off to the races, boys.
Okay. We are going to Wisconsin tonight.
Regrettably. Sorry, Pete.
Horicon? Horicon?
Horicon?
Horicon.
Yes.
Icon. How would you pronounce that?
Horicon.
Okay.
I thought this was literally a horror convention in Wisconsin you were about to tell me about.
I mean, it sort of turns into one, but Horicon, Wisconsin is a town.
You could also...
about 60 miles northwest of Milwaukee.
You could also just refer to the entire state of the entire state of Wisconsin as a horror convention.
Yes. Correct.
Sorry, pissed off Pete. Gotta do it, bro. Gotta do it. Gotta roast.
It's like a exurb of Milwaukee.
Okay.
It's like an hour outside of Milwaukee.
It's more than a sub.
Correct.
Got it.
That's a real term, isn't it?
Fuck beats the shit out of me, bud.
I think it is. I could be making that
this
up. This
English major doesn't know.
Okay. February of 1987 in Horicon, Wisconsin.
What day? I was born in February of 1987.
Oh, dip. where you spawned from a set of haunted bunk
Am
beds.
I the bunk bed? I'm the bunk bed.
Maybe they destroyed the bunk bed, so maybe you are the reincarnate. I just ruined the end of the story. Oh, this is my favorite episode.
Yes, dude. Oh, man.
Well, look, if you're not prepared to do the research, Brian, why make the statement in the first place?
Maybe you're the reincarnated bunk bed.
Sick.
Alan and Debbie Tallman. You're a tall man.
Wait for it.
I'm waiting.
Shit.
We're all waiting.
I don't know anything about this board anymore. Everything is everywhere.
So you get there when you get there.
Yeah.
I'll keep going.
All
Alan
right.
and Debbie Tallman bought a house in Horicon in spring of 1986. I was born in the spring of 1986.
Oh,
Am
my
I their
God.
house?
Are you, you're the house and I'm the bunk
am I
bed?
a rambler?
Oh, Jesus.
The house was built in 1984, just slightly less than 2 years prior. And
that boy big.
is that me being a rambler?
No, that's for the Tallman family.
Jesus Christ.
Look, it was literally on the seventh set of pads I checked. I couldn't.
I told you it's messy.
No joke. I checked 7 of the 8 and then I found it.
So they bought this house in the spring of 86. It was built in 1984.
Mm-hmm.
The original owners of the house only lived there for about 18 months,
Okay.
which seems a little bit odd.
To build a
that
house
you'd
and
build a
leave that
house.
quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, life happens. You get a job or,
Sure.
whatever.
They had 3 kids who, when they moved into the house, were 8, 2, and a newborn. And right after they moved into the house, all of them started getting sick all the time, to the point where they actually had an inspector come out to try and figure out if there was something in the house that could be making them sick. Like,
I'm in danger.
yes, yes. Like building material wise, if there was asbestos or something that hadn't been sealed, or if there was mold or something like that.
Got it.
There was not, as far as the inspector could tell. And they also heard from family members and friends that people didn't feel good when they would come to the house.
Home sweet home.
Yeah. Some people described feeling like suffocated, or like they were in a vacuum, or like they had some sort of pressure on them when they were in the house.
Ugh.
Other people felt more, I guess, direct or like specific physical sensations. People would get headaches. People would feel nauseous in the house.
Such a just imagining like, hey man, nice new house you just built. It makes me feel like
Makes
shit.
me want to barf.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in it.
Well, and that is kind of wild that people
Thanks for coming.
It must have been bad though, right? If multiple people were actually sharing that with them,
Right.
because like you wouldn't say that to someone who just bought this brand new house for their family to
Right.
live in,
Right.
and raise their kids in. Be like, hey man,
Right.
I don't like your house, right? Like you got to take it somewhat
It's gotta be real.
seriously.
Yeah, it's gotta be real.
Like Debbie's mom didn't like coming to see her grandkids because the house made her feel shitty.
Well,
Yeah, or maybe she hated her grandkids. And
look, it's not the kids, it's the house.
they also had a cat who they named Cat,
Perfect.
who would freak out inside the. We're just gonna get like 600% more sounders. Than
Yes.
Okay.
Cat horn for the cat, bro. That's the sound he made.
They had a cat named Cat, who before they moved to the house was a normal cat, and after they moved to the house was a crazy cat who would run around and like throw himself at things. And they locked him in a room once, and he got out of the room somehow.
Oh, dope. Dude, cats are fucked up.
Yeah, he might have been an octopus. And he would start doing.
Cat might have been an octopus?
Yeah.
Oh, because he was escaping from things
Yeah,
he
they
wasn't
can
supposed
like
to?
pick locks with their little tentacle guys.
So sick.
I don't know if that's real.
It
It's
is.
probably not real.
It's totally real.
And they noticed that his behavior was weirder at night, for whatever that's worth.
Cats are always weird at night, though.
Yeah, I don't know anything about cats.
We had like a million of them growing up.
That's too many.
We had bad luck with cats.
What does that mean?
Yeah, we had to get rid of some. Some
What
died.
does that mean? Why?
Well, I mean, for a variety of reasons. Like some of them were old. One had a heart problem.
Why were you getting so many fucked up cats?
We got rid of a couple cats because we had one cat that was like, well, we had a cat and it was cool, and then we got another cat, and then the cat we had just decided to pee in the sinks. Like, would literally just like get up on the sink and like spray piss all over the bathroom, and we couldn't get it to stop doing that. So we had to give that cat back to someone else and say, "Can you please figure out
You get pissed on.
what to do?"
We're done being pissed on. It's your turn to be
This
pissed
cat
on.
needs to be in a different house because it's not. It's peeing on my toothbrush in this house, and that sucks pretty bad. So it was
Can
a
you
fun
train
ride.
cats, or like, are you just stuck with whatever they want to do?
You know, that's a really good question. I will say I was at the Timberwolves game last night, and there was a considerably fantastic halftime show with very well-trained dogs for all of about 15 to 20 minutes.
Dude, you got to see the dog halftime show?
The dog-
That's by a mile the best one.
And
I haven't seen it in
it's-
years.
It's phenomenal, dude.
The racing or the frisbee guys?
Frisbee.
Oh, okay. The
Yeah.
racing is so rare, but it's the best one. They don't race the dogs at basketball games very often because the wood floor and the dogs.
Yeah, but bro,
They lay down the little track for them.
the last night though, they had the Frisbee ones, and they make them wear sneakers, so they have like little little traction sneakers, bro, so they can really
This needs
rip
a button
it.
of something. Come on, this needs something.
Hell yeah.
There we go.
You're slamming your hand on an empty desk and
Pushing buttons over
No.
here.
But yeah, no, he's definitely rocking fucking doggy sneakers and running around and like doing literal backflips.
Bark, Bjork, bark.
Like it was fucking awesome.
God bless him.
What
This
I'm
is
trying to say
literally
is-
the worst job we've ever done of telling a story.
What I'm
and
trying to say is
so proud of
you've
it.
never seen a halftime show with trained cats. So if
Yeah.
that answers your question,
Great point.
It answers it for me anyway.
Okay, so here's when shit starts getting real.
The house. So the moral of the story so far is they built a house and it sucks.
They bought
It
a
sucks
house that
very
someone
bad.
else built and moved out
Oh, right.
of within a year and a half.
Right. That's right.
And it's making their friends and their family feel weird. And
Got it.
they're getting sick a lot.
It's not
That's,
great.
That's where we're at so far. And
It's
their
not great.
cat might just suck at being a cat. Hard to say. They named it Cat. They didn't give him much of a chance.
Yeah.
After living there for about a year, they buy a bunk bed.
Okay. Because you said they have 3 kids, right?
They do.
Okay.
Secondhand bunk bed.
Okay.
And they bring it home, and shit starts getting weird.
Mm-hmm.
Soon after bringing this bunk bed home, the radio in the room where this bunk bed was started turning itself on and off and switching stations on its own.
No, you
That's what I tell the radio.
And it was not a digitally tuned radio. It had like the actual dial.
Sure.
And so they could see the dial actually moving on its own.
Thanks. I hate it.
The children who were using this bunk bed in their bedroom,
Uh-huh.
you know, how you use bunk beds.
You know.
You sleep on them, typically.
You jump off them a little bit.
They saw an ugly old woman about 3 feet tall just appear in their room one night.
I'm in danger.
She had long black hair that they said, quote, glowed like fire.
Whoa, crazy. Where where do we have like a book on this or a news article, or what's the set of sources here for the story?
So there are a few.
Okay.
I wish we had the damn son. Where'd you find this right now?
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Thank you.
I'll get it. I'm close, but I'll really get it.
There's an unsolved mysteries episode about this, which is I think how most people outside of rural Wisconsin originally found out about it.
Lit.
And then there's a book called Haunted America.
Okay, I've heard of that book.
There's a whole series of them.
Series of books
by Beth Scott and Michael Norman.
Okay.
And I think it's the original Haunted America. There's just a chapter on each state, and it's just one story per state. So it's like the weirdest, hauntedest thing from each state.
Yep.
And the Wisconsin chapter is about this.
Dope. We need
Although-
to get that so we can tell the Minnesota one.
Oh, I have the book if you want to. I didn't read the Minnesota chapter, but we could.
Tight.
We both can read. They didn't in the book attribute it to the bunk beds as much as the house itself. I think the specific. I mean, they mentioned that they had a bunk bed, and that some of this stuff was concentrated in that room. I think it was primarily the Unsolved Mysteries episode that like linked it to the bunk bed because this shit started getting worse and more overtly paranormal
when that was brought into the home.
Yeah.
Got it.
And as we revealed at the top of the story,
it became the scapegoat at some point. Got it.
So we've got radio changing stations, turning on and off on its own.
Yep.
We have a 3-foot tall old ugly woman with glowing hair.
Fuck no.
And we have doors opening and closing on their own.
Fuck no.
Chairs moving by themselves. The garage door opened and closed on its own. And they could hear disembodied voices calling out from rooms that they were not in.
Fuck no.
Gross.
The youngest, who now at this point was like 2.5 or something, was sleeping in said bunk bed.
Do all the kids sleep in this one room?
I don't know. I couldn't find like a layout. I would assume if you're getting bunk beds, I mean, at least 2 of the kids are sharing.
Right.
I would assume.
And if you have a 2.5-year-old, they're not sleeping on the upper bunk, I would imagine. That sounds hella fucking dangerous.
Right. So there was at least one other person in the room, I would guess. Anyway, she said that she saw a red-eyed witch behind her door.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Also, her parents routinely heard her talking to someone at night.
No.
And the 2.5-year-old said that she heard voices talking to her at night.
Cool.
But didn't realize or report that she talked back to them. So it was this, like, she would tell her parents that she heard people talking.
But she wouldn't be like, we had a conversation.
Right. But her parents would hear her talking to someone and only hearing her side of the conversation.
Who are you?
Well done.
Thank you.
One morning.
I'm very excited about this. This was a big opportunity for me.
Really making the most of it.
It's a big day for me.
One morning they went down to the basement of this house. They had like a partially finished basement.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a taller than normal ceiling in a basement. They had like 10 or 12 foot ceilings in the basement.
Sure.
And they had up at like ground level windows around the edge. So they have these windows that are like 8 to 10 feet off the ground.
Yep.
And they came down to the basement one morning, and one of those windows had been removed and placed on the floor in the basement.
The whole windows?
Yes. So someone had taken the window out and then set it on the floor 8 to 10 feet below the window. So, one, how are you removing a whole window from its framing?
If you do that from the outside, you're breaking the window. There's no way.
It was intact.
And if you do it from the inside, you need a ladder.
Right, and you would need like some sort of tools. Right?
Not necessarily. Like I'm thinking
you could
like
pull a window out with your bare hands?
Well, I'm thinking like it depends what they mean by window. Were they like storm windows that were like, because you can pop out storm windows with squeezes? Like, I don't know.
Well, it must have been more like it was open to the outside.
All right. Well, then you're taking out like a full pane.
Right.
And that, I mean, okay.
You gotta get like trim off somehow, right? Like maybe I'm envisioning this wrong.
Yeah, I mean,
but
usually you literally have to unscrew. 'Cause I did this in my house. You have to unscrew one side of the trim to get access to the actual like window rail.
Right.
So that's like extra goofy if they're talking about full windows.
And you wouldn't have anything less than that you could remove and have access to the outdoors, probably, right?
Unless it was the time of year where like maybe they had them open and they were able to take the storm windows off. I don't know.
Anyway, so they came downstairs to find this window removed and on the floor inside, which if someone had been in the basement and left that way, how would you, like, you'd have to you'd need a ladder or a chair or something to get to the window, right?
Yeah, and
then how are you getting
you do
out?
A pull up to climb out, basically. I don't know.
But you got to jump and pull yourself up, but then through like a pretty small window. I'm imagining if it's a basement window, they're usually not that big.
Yeah, we're talking about those like whatever 16-inch high and
2x4 maybe.
Yeah, even
less.
Even that seems probably big. Yeah.
So
I don't know. It's weird.
And then it's strange. If you're doing it from the outside, you shouldn't be able to remove a window from the outside.
Was this every window in the basement?
Just one. And then if you did it, but then didn't come in or out that way, what did you do it for?
Right.
And then there wasn't a sign of entry anywhere else in the house. Because I'm thinking maybe like, does one person break in or like sneak in a different way and then let someone else in that way?
Right.
Or are you like, also, I guess I should maybe finish the story. Nothing was missing from the house.
Okay.
Even though there was stuff in the basement, like there were power tools and guns and like valuable shit in the basement that if someone had broken in, you would think they would have taken.
This also is one of those things for me where like, I know this is probably slightly closed-minded, but I feel like, if you told me this happened in Minneapolis or Milwaukee or whatever, I'd be like, yeah, yeah, people break in places and they do it in creative ways and like, who knows, like maybe they lowered it down or I don't know. But like it being in this kind of very remote small town, it feels slightly less like.
Well, and also why?
I don't know.
Yes.
Stranger.
And if you're breaking in but not taking anything, what were you doing?
Yeah.
Or what happened?
I mean, plenty of kids are like just mischief makers and breaking in for no good reason. I mean, people car shop and like break into garages just to like fuck off. I get what you're saying. I'm just saying like, it's not, I don't know, it doesn't feel like an impossibility to me.
No, it's not, but it also feels weird.
It's for sure weird.
We mentioned this a little bit earlier, but
the 3-foot tall woman in the bedroom is weirder to me.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Of course, all I'm saying.
Deborah's mom, so the kid's grandma, stayed at the house with the kids one night, even though she was reluctant to do so, and saw a pair of red eyes looking in through an exterior window at her.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
This should be a Halloween episode.
The youngest kid who would speak to people and hear people speaking to her, her name is Marianne, would often get scared and like run into her parents' room at night and frequently said, quote, "It's coming," or "It's here."
What are you talking about, freaky woman?
When her parents would ask her who she was talking about or what was coming, she got upset and would wonder or question why her parents couldn't see, quote, "it."
Thanks. I hate it.
Mm-hmm. It's so much worse when it's a little kid.
Yeah, dude. It's so much worse.
Also so much less reliable, but so much worse.
But we've also had conversations about how like children are very in tune to things and like don't have the same like reified structures of society and how things work in their minds.
Or filter about what things they'll share and not share.
Yeah, or like that's too weird for me to talk about or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to interpret one way or the other, but there is like, I think you're maybe referencing the stuff with like past lives and kids seeing like literally seeing things that other people can't see,
Right.
but also
Spectrum
or
shit.
having memories that of like other lives or being in other places that then eventually fade as they get older.
Right.
So if we're going like fully hippie woo-woo on it, there does seem to be maybe some abilities that we have at a young age that get lost later
Right.
or fade, or that we like learn to block out.
Right.
Also, like, 2 to 3 year olds have a very limited vocabulary and understanding of the world. So
Very true.
there's that.
That's very true.
But if I had a 2 or 3 year old who ran into my room at night and said, "It's coming," and then got upset when I couldn't see it,
Yeah.
fuck that.
And it's also one of those things
Also,
where
I'd
like
be more terrified about having a 3 year old, but
but like it's also one of those things too where it's like it's not it'd be one thing if you had a kid who was telling stories, but you don't just have a kid who's telling stories. You have a house that makes people uneasy and a radio that's acting up.
and your other kids are seeing stuff,
your
and
other
you're
kids have
hearing
said-
stuff, and your mom is seeing
seen
stuff.
something. Yeah, like there's the recipe, like the child as the ingredient is weird in its own right, but dismissible. That ingredient mixed with all the other ingredients in the recipe is
When an 80-year-old and a 40-year-old and a 60-something-year-old are all seeing and hearing weird things.
that's a gross cake, my bro. Those ingredients together, that's a gross cake.
It's like on Great British Bake Off when they do the traditional English bakes and they all just put a bunch of meat in a pie.
Ooh,
You're looking. Get there.
I'm getting dicked on this one.
put a bunch of meat in a pie.
Yeah, dude, the Brits eat gross shit. I love y'all, but your food is weird to me.
Sick. Meat pie they're getting dickered on
It's
that
a
one.
thing, dude. Well, maybe it's not a thing. It's a thing on the British TV show that I watch
Is it
sometimes.
like a sweet pie or is it like
No.
Oh, it's like a savory pie.
Yeah,
Oh, well, that's not that weird then.
it is though.
Is it?
Yeah, it's not what you're thinking.
I mean, that just sounds like a fucking
Like a pot pie.
yeah,
Yeah, but it's not.
but it's not that.
Mm.
Lit. I should watch that show. So I know what you're
It's
talking
like that, but if it were like 400% bigger than you're thinking,
about. Whoa,
and it was like solid meat inside, not
Shit
like
went bad real quick.
yeah.
You know what I
See,
mean?
that's
not like a
absolutely-
stew with like a nice pastry around it, like a nice pastry around a slab of like 16 different meats.
Nope.
And it's just thick.
Fuck no.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
All right.
I'm not here for that.
We out of here.
Alan, who is the dad of the fam, comes home from work one day and he's walking inside and he hears a voice from his garage say, "Come here."
I won't.
So he does.
What
He-
an ass hat. God.
he feels compelled to follow this voice from the garage.
What's that sound?
And when he walks over to the garage, so it's one of those garage doors that has like the 4 windows in it, you know?
Yeah.
And he can see fire, like flames inside of his garage. And he sees these red eyes staring at him through one of the windows.
God damn.
So his garage is on fire and there's some sort of demon inside of it.
Well, that's a Texas-sized fuck no, I'm out. Bye forever.
He runs inside the house to, I guess, either like call 911 or tell his family or whatever he needs to do.
Yep.
Stops for a second and thinks, wait, that seems weird. A voice told me to go over there. I saw glowing eyes. Maybe I should go take another look. And the garage is normal.
God damn.
I don't.
Yep.
I'm not having fun anymore.
Yep. The Tallmans decide to bring their pastor over to the house to check things out.
Dear sir, could you exercise our bunk beds, please?
Yes.
No, I
Basically.
I know.
And the pastor said he felt the presence of the devil and
Great.
blessed the house.
No, I don't need a blessing. I need an exorcism.
Well,
Don't say nice things about the house. Get the devil out of it.
I'm assuming the pastor in rural Wisconsin is probably not an exorcist. Got to call in the backups.
Well,
You got to get Linda to talk to the Pope and send somebody over.
I mean, I'd be doing that. That's what I'd be doing.
So anyway,
I'd be fucking moving, bro.
Well,
I'd be the fuck out of that house.
They did eventually, to spoil more of the story.
We'll get there.
So they bring in the pastor. He blesses the house, and the family also starts going to church regularly and reciting prayers in the house, and just blasting Christian music throughout the house whenever possible.
You know, like respect the hustle on this one, but also like just a chance you're gonna piss the demon off.
Well, it seemed to work.
Well, all right.
I think they're going with the angle
I ain't
of like
mad at you.
piss the demon off and like maybe just go next door. It's easier, right? Path of least resistance. These guys are putting up a fight. They're calling in Jesus backups.
There's way too much God in this house.
Yeah, the Shortmans next door don't give a shit. They don't go to church, never.
I'm hopping over to the Shortmans to terrorize their asses.
You're right. It's easier.
Y'all got a bunk bed over here I could embody.
You got a nice spacious dresser.
You got an inanimate object
Perhaps
I
a
can
futon.
hop inside of.
It's like in Harry Potter
Hey, short man!
when Slughorn is the lounge chair because he's hiding from the Death Eaters.
Preach.
Yeah,
That's a great one.
thanks. I'm about done with book 6.
Fantastic poll.
Thank you. Well, I'm currently listening to that book. So
Your catalog of Harry Potter references
thick.
is deep and
Dude,
wide and
we
growing.
tried to. So the other night before we recorded the Patreon, when you were like, "Can we do 8?" and I was like, "How about 8:30?"
Yep.
It's because we were trying to hit Harry Potter trivia.
That's hot.
Harry Potter trivia was sold the fuck out. They were at
Word.
capacity and we couldn't get in.
Where was it?
The little we find berries around the neighborhood and make wine out of it spot down the street.
Yep.
Yep.
That's legit.
We shakeyourtrees.biz.
Buy it. Redirect it to the show.
But yeah, we showed up like 10 minutes early and there was a line outside and the bouncer, whatever, person at the door was like, "I don't think you're getting in." And I was like, "All right, have a good night, sir."
Thanks.
That was very efficient. Thank you.
Cool. Fuck me. All right. Also, if people are showing up in droves for Harry Potter trivia,
I was about to get whooped anyway. It's fine.
okay, but I'm just saying, do we need to have our own Harry Potter trivia night? Because it seems like we could make some money.
Sure. If you want to be the guy who runs a trivia night.
If it's a Harry Potter trivia night,
Well, yeah.
that's a different
If
thing.
it's exclusively. We should start like a paranormal trivia night.
Whoa, interesting.
What's the most haunted type of bed? Bunk beds. 10 points. To Gryffindor.
What's it? Oh, you divide the room up into 4
You got
houses.
Yeah.
I like this.
When you get there.
nonsensical.
Dude, when you get there, you got to put on the sorting hat and you get assigned to a random team.
Oh, and the
they're just
sorting
4
hat,
teams.
And the
No
sorting,
matter how many people show up, they're just 4 teams and you get sorted into one.
Yes, and your sorting hat is just one of those Instagram filters with the rotating like options.
No.
No, I mean you got to put a hat on while you do it, but it also is that.
No, you got to put a hat on and put like because you got a lot of extra room in the sorting hat.
Sure.
You got all those little flappy folds,
Sure.
foldy flaps,
Sure.
terry folds, and you got to put a speaker in it, and then have somebody backstage and be the you got to narrate it. Yeah, exactly.
It's me. I'm the guy.
Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
narrating it.
That's what I meant, but I wanted you to arrive there on your own.
Thank you. I've arrived.
All right. Let's see. Oh, the garage thing. Okay, they blessed the house. They started going to church. They started blasting DC talk in the house, and maybe some jars of jars of clay.
Do if they find out it's true.
Switchfoot just at all hours.
I don't really care if they label me Jesus freak.
Wow, I didn't think you were going to be with me on that one, much less start singing some DC talk. Holy shit, bud. I can't tell if this is a high point or a low point for us.
This is the best episode we've ever done. So,
all right. So,
fuck with your boy.
After the whole garage on fire demon incident.
Hell yeah.
No, hell no.
Well,
Alan, that night.
I was hell yeahing us. I was just late.
Alan is sleeping in his bed with all of his kids because at this point they're all just terrified
Yeah.
every night. And he sees this like fog mist rise out of the floor in his bedroom.
Hell no.
Which turns into flames.
Hell no.
Thank you. And then some green eyes appear in the flames.
Hell no.
Okay.
Hold on. A voice comes from this flaming eyeball soup and just says, "You're dead," and disappears.
This sucks. This shit's terrible.
Yeah.
With the whole family in bed all at once?
Yep.
You're dead.
Now, that statement, it's a little vague.
It is.
Is it saying that they're currently dead, like you're in hell, or you're dead, like I'm gonna get you?
Yeah. It for
Your
sure could
death
be
is imminent, or your death has happened.
It for sure could be perceived as a threat. This much is true.
I would say it's definitely threatening. I wasn't really questioning that part.
Well, no, but I'm just saying one of the things is not a threat if it's a factual assertion.
Oh, right, like he's just filling you in.
Yeah.
The glowing floor flame is just being like, "Hey, man,
you're dead."
That's why shit's so weird here.
Because you're in hell and you're dead. Yeah. But obviously,
this is the bad place.
But obviously, they're not telling the truth.
What? Who?
Well, I'm saying
the floor demons.
The floor demons are not telling the truth because these people were not factually dead.
No, nor did they die. So I think it was an empty demon threat.
An empty demon threat.
Intimidation, purely. Yeah.
Same shit, different fucking toilet. Empty fucking demon threats, bro.
At this point,
I'm gonna get you. Yeah, I bet.
First rational decision ever made in any of these stories. That night they moved out of the house. Yeah,
deuces.
Yeah.
Should have been.
Middle of the night, middle of winter, they got the fuck out of the house.
Bye, Felicia.
Yes. They probably could have just destroyed the bunk bed.
They probably could have just burned the house down.
Well, the floor demons were trying.
I would have helped them.
They were
I'd have been like, yeah, you know what? Fuck all this. You're half right. This should be burned to the fucking ground.
Rumors started spreading after they moved out that, they moved out because their house was haunted. And then people and media started coming by the house
to check it out,
to try and see the haunted house of Larrabee Street.
Sure.
One guy, this is from, I'm going to read directly from this, this Cult of Weird article about it briefly, because
damn, son,
the phrasing is just perfect. One notable visitor was a drunk guy with a Bible intent on performing an exorcism. Instead of casting the devil out and saving the town as he bragged to police officers that he would, he was arrested for drunk driving.
Another day, another beer.
God bless. Wait, they arrested someone for drunk driving in Wisconsin?
I thought it was encouraged, honestly.
I thought it was just a fucking...
It was mandatory.
Thought it was a state fucking holiday.
Policy. Best practices.
Recommended
drunk driving
mode of transportation. Don't do it. It's fucked up.
Anyway.
Uber's real.
One guy... Transit is real.
Transit is real.
Your feet work. You drink at your house. It's fun. So anyway, somebody not trained in exorcism tried to exorcise the house.
Yeah. And
it did not work.
Intoxicated.
Hi!
Hi!
You get away from here. Get. You got the button, bro.
Get out of that house, say.
You find the get away from here button. The real question is, what did the demon's hair look like? You should have hit that one too.
Beautiful hair.
Yeah,
get away from
here. There we go.
All right.
Get.
I'm learning it.
Those two are next to each other at least. So this story, as people learned that there was maybe a haunted house but didn't have any actual information, they started making a bunch of shit up. Rumors included blood oozing from the ceiling.
Oh no!
Which is a thing that happened in an apartment building in Minneapolis recently. Did you see that?
I saw that. Did somebody send us that?
I don't know. I think I just encountered it in the wild on Twitter.
Was it in? Oh, I think I might have seen it in the Facebook group.
No, that seems right.
You guys join the Facebook group. It gets weirder with more of us all the time.
It's a good time. I posted a pair of alien sneakers in there this afternoon.
Did you buy them?
They're not available yet, but when they are, I'm going to.
Are you really?
Air Max 95s with a gray alien on the tongue. I'm buying the and they're like
Shut
they're
the
pink and
front
teal,
door.
which is like all I want to wear these days anyway.
Shut the front door.
Buying two pair, perhaps.
They that reminds me of the Have a Nike Days.
Yeah,
I got those.
It's their I forget what it's called. They're making all the shit out of like recycled trash.
Sick.
I forget what that series is called, but one's about aliens because I don't know why. Blood coming out of the ceiling, a hole to hell in the basement,
Big trash.
and a snowblower that cleared the driveway by itself because it is Wisconsin after all.
Now that's just kind. Yo, a neighbor cleared that. Okay, your snowblower didn't just snowblow
The Shortmans just helped you out.
Come on, guys. Let's get it together, okay? Blood oozing from the ceiling, fires under the bed, I'm fine with. Self-snowblowing demons? Absolutely not. They don't care. They're demons from hell. They can just use their heat to fucking melt the driveway anyway.
They were setting all parts of the house on fire already.
Yeah. They don't need to fucking rip the ripcord on the snowblower. And
You have a hole to hell in the basement. You don't need a snowblower.
No.
Anyway,
God.
they moved out of the house. They came back about 2 weeks later to destroy the dang bunk beds.
So at this point, they had also identified that it was the incursion of the bunk bed that had made the house.
It's unclear. They never spoke to the press about any of this stuff, so I'm not entirely sure how all this information is coming about.
Got it.
They cooperated to some extent on the Unsolved Mysteries episode, but they didn't appear in it. They consulted
Statements.
on it and they did reenactments, and I think they actually filmed some stuff in their actual home.
New home?
No, the haunted one.
Ugh.
Yeah. Anyway, so they went back there 2 weeks later and destroyed the bunk beds and had no further weird experiences, but still sold the house at a loss and moved out by the end of 88. So they lived there for
a year?
a year and a half.
Year and a half.
Yeah, February of 87 to April of 88. So
14 months.
14 months.
Yeah.
They sold it for $5,000 less than they bought it for the year prior.
Well, yeah, because you publicized the fact that it sucks super bad to
they
live
didn't
in it.
publicize it, but it became publicized.
It was publicized that it sucks super bad to live in it.
Right.
Ugh. I want to know, because the thing, okay, so they didn't live in the house all that long, right?
14 months, roughly.
So if you had 14 months of time in this house and the weird shit started happening, it seems odd to
And they moved out by January. So I guess, well, I don't know. They moved out in January.
And then sold it.
And it came back 2 weeks later, though, and then sold it in April. So I'm not sure if between whatever point in January when they came back and they sold it in April, if they were living in the house during that time, or if that's just how long it took to sell it.
But it
may have been, well, I guess all I'm saying is they may have been in the house for actually less than a year.
Right. And best case scenario, it took you less than a year to have enough weird shit pile up that you didn't want to physically be in the building anymore.
They left the house in under a year, yeah.
Which is that's a lot of fucking experiences to have in 11 months to be I physically am uncomfortable being in this space anymore.
If you have two kids under the age of 5 also, though, I think that heavily influences your decision.
For sure, particularly if you're feeling like they're being largely affected by it, you want to remedy that experience for them and be clean slate. Maybe we go somewhere else.
Yeah. Also, unrelated to the haunting or whatever was actually happening, once you become that family in a small town like that,
there's no coming back from that.
You might just got to move on.
Yeah.
Once that hits the press and the local rumor mill,
then you're walking around getting groceries and everyone's like, oh, that's the fucking weird family.
You got to go into work the next day.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a hard time in a town of a couple thousand people.
Which is also always why I lend credence to these, and maybe I shouldn't, but it's why I lend credence to these stories in these towns where it's you'll have a black spot on you forever in this town by talking about the shit at all.
Yeah.
To some extent, but some people are going to look at you sideways.
Sorry, I agree with that. I just think also misinformation can spread faster.
Absolutely.
But point taken, yes.
But
And any amount of like, I don't know, anything out of the ordinary is going to make the rounds quickly.
Right.
And it's probably not going to be positive if it's something like this.
Right.
Yeah.
And particularly in a town that small, it's going to be a focal point.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Be pretty ubiquitous in your town.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, you're willing to sell your home at a loss to get out of it. It's like I just lend so much more credence to these stories where like, yeah, there's a lot of extremely unbelievable shit in everything that you just said. But like, man, you're a family, you're of 5, you got 3 kids, you live in a small town, and you had no reason to want any of this. You didn't benefit from any of this.
Right.
I mean,
they've never actively like sought publicity about it and have been careful to maintain their anonymity as much as possible when there has been stuff written or done about it.
right. It's like,
They lost money, had a miserable time.
it just seems like you have no reason to make this shit up.
No, I don't think there is in this case. Now, that doesn't in turn mean that they had haunted bunk beds,
No, it does not.
but I don't think that they were entirely
Falsifying
hoaxing something.
anything.
Yeah.
And the thing with the bunk beds that I didn't get to, but was going to get to was like they lived there for such a short period of time. It seems odd to attribute this, like the things to any one piece of furniture.
And I
there
don't
wasn't,
know
like,
if they
emanating fucking energy from it, or you know what I mean? Like,
right. And I don't, again, it's hard to find a lot of solid info about this one. And there's like no commentary from the family. So I don't know if it was because, well, first, I don't know how much they did place the blame on the bunk beds.
Yeah.
Or if that became like the
A
fun
trope.
summary of the story after it hit network TV.
family brought in a set of bunk beds and started
Right. I
experiencing.
mean,
yeah.
that's why we're talking about as over any other haunted house situation.
Because it was boiled down to an inanimate object.
Yeah.
Well, and the other thing that I had curiosities about, and I don't know if you stumbled on any of this, but like I think often when inanimate objects are blamed for these types of things, it is usually due to some piece of history about the inanimate object that, like,
when were bunk beds invented?
I don't know. Are you saying was this like the first bunk bed?
I'm just saying, usually it's like old items, right? You don't see like a haunted
Game Boy?
Yeah. Right?
I got a haunted Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, I'm sure there were bunk beds like as early as there were beds, like 1600s.
When were bunk beds invented is my Google search.
We
There-
read our Google searches on this show.
Wow. In the column of Damn Son, Where'd You Find This?
Uh-huh.
Bunkbedking.com.
Oh, let's meet him. Let's have him on the show.
There isn't a particular individual who first invented bunk beds, and they are actually believed to go back to medieval times when the poor were trying to save on space.
I fucking nailed it.
Bunk beds really started to become popular when used in the military.
Oh, sure.
I'm assuming this means in the United States specifically. Bunk Bed King. Quality at discount prices with free shipping.
Boop.
Here. Dog, we can get a bunk bed with stairs to the upper bunk, rustic style, starting at just $349.
That is reasonable. Two twins? Is that what we're talking about?
I'm assuming. Can you fit in the twin bed?
Define fit.
Fast shipping.
I don't even fit in a king bed, bro. My legs go over the end of a king
Closeout
bed.
sale starting at $169. Dog.
We could get a bunk bed for $169.
Yes, we can.
We literally should have one in the studio
Well,
for that much
they
money.
make some that are like pre-forded.
You can't afford not to buy it.
Oh boy. Yeah, look at. Oh, that one's expensive. That's $729.
Ooh, luxury bunk beds. Let's go.
Yeah, check this out though. You got drawers underneath the lower one. Here, I'm gonna pass this over to you.
Do they have a haunted section?
Ooh.
Do they have like a, you know how bunk beds used to be haunted? Damn, that shit nice as hell.
Right.
They got stair drawers. They got under drawers.
Under drawers.
Under bed drawers.
Let's see. I bet. Do you think on eBay I can find a haunted bunk bed?
Oh, dang. I'm going to talk on the Patreon this week about
haunted shit on eBay.
No, not like the corny shit, but like one thing that got famous for being auctioned on eBay.
No haunted ones available on eBay. Some great deals though, and some very stylish ones.
Great deals on bunk beds.
Yeah, a nautical theme bunk bed set that actually has a pull out like third bed under bed thing.
Wow, that's so much.
If we ever have a guest on,
we can all record laying down on bunk beds.
Correct. And that looks like it might even be a twin full with trundle.
We'd still have so much room for activities.
$656. We can afford that.
Absolutely.
Model bunk bed with trundle. Oh, that puts it up to $805. We got that though.
Oh, twin over full, so I could have a full.
Yeah, dude. That's this one too.
Full over full bunk beds? Damn, that's so.
You do realize that would take up like 60% of the room we're currently in.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But the question is, would it be worth it? And I think the answer is absolutely yes.
Well, that feels like an episode. Perhaps our best, honestly. Took us 167 episodes to find our groove, but here we are.
It's most certainly my favorite ever, so y'all can deal with that as much as you please. Yeah, buddy.
Any parting words for the folks at home?
Yes, I have so many parting words.
Hit them with it.
Okay, if you want to leave us a voicemail, you could do that. It's 612-246-4614. We listen to all your voicemails. We don't always play them, but we always listen to them, and we appreciate them very much. If you want to send us an email. That's hi@whatifpodcast.com. We've gotten some awesome messages from y'all lately, and some very fun ones. We try to respond to as many of those as we can, but again, can't get to all of them. We're at What If Pod on all the socials. Join the Facebook group if you want to engage there. We got our sweetest iTunes review in history, and I'm not gonna lie, I cried at work just a little bit when I read it. And if you guys want to leave an iTunes review, just go do that. It helps us out. Once we get to 500, oh my God, we're coming up on 500 iTunes reviews. We'll do another live Facebook live show where we hang out with you guys live and we can chat and ask and answer questions. That'll be fun. Shop.whatifpodcast.com. If you want to hit the shop, you can buy shout outs on the show. You could buy t-shirts. You could buy mugs. You could buy fucking sick hats. You could buy posters. You could buy whatever you want because it's your life and you should live it to your fullest. We love you guys. We appreciate you listening. As always, we'll see you next week.
I think this is such a dang neat show.